Hey everybody, it's Ben, Brother Eli at Church Universal and Triumphant, and I'm logging in to just continue a little bit of research. I'm going to be looking online at holy orders information that I term to be part of uh, uh, the mantle and also part of the Golden Age dispensation. We will take a look at that information, also go directly to the encyclopedia as well, which is the designated Holy Orders encyclopedia through the Summit Lighthouse. It's a supremely valuable, comprehensive resource that you can find online. When you're not finding it online, um, we have a designated area devoted to it on the website. But if you don't make it there, I use that as the essential clay for the work that I do, which recently has included taking a look at Genesis. Yes, we are Buddhist and also Hindu, and I do have Hindu friends, and I study Hinduism when I can, but my primary affiliation growing up, before I became involved in earth-based religions, was Christianity, so I find it easy to grasp Christian elements because they're within my reach culturally. But of course, you can't really separate Christianity from Judaism, and then the web sort of expands out from there with regard to how everything is interlaced. It's all part of the Antakarana. But right, 8 mystical paths, and we will be discussing those today by way of my research. Okay? So let's take a look at what's going on here. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. I am struggling to obtain safer, properly accommodated housing and to regain my driver's license, which was taken from me unlawfully during a court dispute. Not a good situation for me, because the sheriff in my area is corrupt and not approachable, and we need a new sheriff. So that's my cross to bear. What is yours? You know, if people want to private message me, they're welcome to do that. So I'm going to take a look. I'm going to go right now to the encyclopedia, and we're going to see what is shaking there with regard to the topic of these paths that were designated by my guru to be the 8 paths, one path according to each chakra. Okay, so we're taking a look at that topic. If my keyboard will operate, which it's not at all clear that it wants to do that right now. Actually, because I'm missing a part. You guys, I don't want to have to patch this together, so you guys will have to bear with me. As a matter of fact, it's not there. Let me get it. Okay, watch this, kids. Right here, it's the extension that I bought. This is actually a man, a little man, but he's a headless data chip. And I have his head, which you won't like it because it is a devil head. I'm not endorsing it. It's actually a character, I think, from one of the isn't he? Is he not? He's a character from one of the later Star Wars, or I'm not sure who that guy is. But that's how I put data into this particular machine. But yeah, I've got attachments. This is a good piece of equipment to have, and it doesn't cost a lot if any of you find yourselves running out of data ports on your laptops. I'm going to plug that in and get us up and running. Now it is going to work. Okay, so let's take a look. And the top is Buddhism. I was telling someone in the church that it was associated with something else, and I remembered when I got home that Confucianism is not the top chakra. Confucianism is actually the third eye. It's the 5th ray. It's the green chakra, which is right here. The third eye is associated with Confucianism. I wanted to correct myself. So, mystical paths of the world's religions at the Summit Lighthouse. We want... I'll take a look at that. It has to say 8, though, because there were 8 designated by the head of the church. 8 of them pointed out specifically. Sikhism, yes, we have Sikh ties. I'm reiterating what I said in another video. We do have ties to Sikhism. We have cards, charts of the divine self, which this is mine, and it has like a Buddhist, I think it's Buddhist or Christian. I always forget. I think this one's actually, I can tell from reading the back of it. What is this? Zoroastrianism? It doesn't say because it just says tube of light on the back, but on the front, I think that's Jesus. So I think this is the Christian one. This is the Christian one because that's Jesus as the higher self. But we also have cards like this that have Buddha there, and cards like this that have Guru Nanak there. And if you're associated with Sikhism, speaking of Guru Nanak, and then we have Zoroastrian cards that have Zarathustra as the Jesus character. So to us, Jesus is really interchangeable according to this chart with Zarathustra, Guru Nanak, all that. But Sikhism is not delineated among the 8 chakras, which are the 8 chakras in the body. It came later in our development. But we do have Sikhism as a card because we have Guru Nanak as the Jesus figure representing the higher self in the chart. This is called the Tree of Life. And this is you in lower embodiment surrounded by the violet fire. And you're trying to make a transition. You're trying to become the person at the top of the chart within the monad, also known as the Dharmakaya. That's our religion, our faith. A component of it, but a key component of it. And this is a springboard for conversations with world Buddhism, additionally. I hope that's interesting to everybody, but let me get back to the encyclopedia. Mystical paths of the world's religion. Let's take a look at it, please. Okay. Okay, good. Well, this will give us information, and there are 8 pathways to God listed here. This will give us the information that we require. One moment. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, I apologize sincerely for wasting your time. Yeah, I don't have the equipment to edit. If I had donations from people in the church, and I understand how that works, I suppose. Tithely, yeah, I have a Tithely, and I'm getting that set up again next month. So people, I hope I can encourage people to donate $5 a month, and to be on the newsletter distribution, because it will be totally worth your while and your money. And I don't believe in mandatory tithing, but it really does make sense if you're able to participate to actually try to help out financially in the church. I know from experience, and trust me, like every last cent that comes in here is counted, valued, put to good use, and so on. And I can, provide a more detail with regard to how that would unfold in a larger context as well. But, I am very serious about protecting the church and advancing the needs of the people within the church, and I can't do it on my own. It has to be through collective, unified support. Not everybody has to pay. I'm not saying that, but the people who can pay anything or who are giving, at tax time, if you are involved in the church and you want to support holy orders, please remember me and not the other charities to whom you might be tempted to donate. So that's my entreaty. Not so much for the money as it is for the actual practical support for me personally and my personal life so that I can actually do it in the first place. And I think that should be satisfying to a lot of people. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who can relate to this, including the people who can't afford to give anything. But if you can afford to give, I'm definitely talking to you people, you know, because it's to your advantage. It's to your advantage to be generous when you can, because I help you. My point is to help everybody within the church. So think about me at tax time. Okay, so enough of that. Enough Jim Bakering. It's actually helpful to talk about practical things once in a while because it can help to solidify bonds. You know what I mean? That's why I do it. That's why I bring it up. Okay, but let me get to this right now. I'm going to put on my magic glasses. Okay, and then we're going to go up here and read it. So what I'm looking at, let me tell you this right now, okay? What I'm looking at is the official summitlighthouse.org website, okay? This is produced and supported by the folks at the ranch in Montana. And in addition to having the online store, the spiritual store, you are able to become a keeper by taking the online lessons through this particular site if you choose to do so. Holy Orders is actually at a separate site, and it's hard to kind of find it in here because it's layered very well. I mean, it's buried many layers down, and you really have to dig to find it. But if you want information, holyorders.org, I believe, is still the site, and I'm a great facilitator for all of that information. So this is Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet, and Mystical Paths of 8 Major World Religions is what I'm looking at. She came up with this sometime in the 90s or 80s, and you know, it's their original notion that these 8 paths correspond to 8 major chakras that they've identified. In some respects, their chakral system resembles typical Buddhism and Hinduism, but in other ways, I believe that the color correspondences are unique to the Summit Lighthouse, that they're originally the part of the revelation as delivered to Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And I think that's factual. I don't think other paths may use it, but I think that those paths that adhere to our color system are not typical Hinduism and Buddhism. I believe that those traditions utilize a different color scheme. So that's one difference that is notable here. But I'm on the page Mystical Paths. So this is the official information from heaven, if you will, from whatever layer of the 33 levels of heaven. It's holy information. People took their time to protect it as well. So let me read it for you. It will get to Islam, Taoism, and so forth. It will name them specifically as well, but it's a couple of paragraphs. Not that long at all. Let me undertake to read it right now. The age of Pisces brought the awareness of God as the Son revealed to us in the universal Christ personified in the Christ Jesus. Jesus came to show us how to walk the path of personal Christhood so that we could realize the Son of God within ourselves. The condition, love me and keep my commandments. Jeremiah prophesied the full revelation of the Son of God who should appear in the age of Pisces. He saw the Son as the Lord, our righteousness. In the 20th century, Saint Germain unveiled the Son as the personal or inner Christ. We address this inner Christ as our beloved Holy Christ self. Knowledge of the Son of God as our true self or higher self brings us that much closer to the Lord. I am that I am. The dawning age of Aquarius brings us the awareness of God as the Holy Spirit and as the Divine Mother. Okay? Notable. In this age, the Divine Feminine is exalted in male and female as the sacred fire that rises on the altar of our chakras. The condition we must fulfill is self-transcendence through divine love. Divine love. Thus, the unfoldment of God's identity within you and your identification with it is progressive through the cosmic cycles. This unfoldment culminates in your direct experience of God, followed by your union with God. This is the goal of all of your past incarnations and the goal of your life today. We did not leave behind the previous ages, but we built upon their foundations. Knowledge of the Ascended Master's teachings is no excuse to set aside the Ten Commandments or the teachings of Jesus Christ or the great truths that come down to us through the Vedas and the Upanishads and all of the teachings of the avatars of the major world religions. We have this communion with our I Am Presence because we have built stone upon stone our pyramid, and now we have come to that age and hour when we ourselves must place the spiritual capstone on our personal pyramid. Mystical paths in the world's major religions. Next header. Through each of the world's major religions, God has revealed to your soul another side or image of himself. Your soul is the mirror of God. If you allow your soul to mirror the astral plane or discordant images, then there is no room in the mirror for God. If you polish the mirror of the soul and direct that mirror through attention to God, you will always be able to look in the mirror of your soul and see God. That is the first experience of seeing God face to face. You first see God in the mirror of your soul and then directly when he chooses to appear to you. Okay, well that makes sense. When God reveals a new image or attribute of himself through a world religion, he also reveals in the mirror of your soul a new image or attribute of yourself. When you become one with this new image of God and of yourself, you learn a new way of communing with God. A new image is like a new language, a new mode of expression, as though you suddenly discovered love or discovered truth. A whole new world opens to you, you understand more of God, and so you can be more of God. Thereby you learn a new way of attaining union with God. In each age, God has also given us one or more new names whereby we may invoke that image and by reflection make it our own. Knowledge of the name of God is empowerment. God has empowered his people through many ages, and by that we have learned to expand the flowers of our chakras. Each time we invoke God by a new name, we access a portion of God's self that was previously beyond our reach. The name of God is the key to his heart, to his mind, to his spirit, and to that state of consciousness we are destined to mirror and to become. 8 pathways to God. Okay, final header, this is the information. Each of the world's major religions, so I'm at 17 minutes, provides a mystical path that facilitates our soul development on a particular ray and a particular chakra. The 7 major world religions and the minor 8th, okay, come under the dispensation of the 7 rays and the 7 chakras, and the 8th ray and the 8th ray chakra. The 8th ray chakra is the secret chamber of the heart. Judaism, number 1, Judaism. It'll just say full sentences for each of the 8, basically pronouncing each of the chakras. Judaism facilitates your soul development on the first ray of God's power through the throat chakra. Buddhism facilitates your soul development on the second ray of God's wisdom through the crown chakra. Christianity facilitates your soul development on the third ray of God's love through the heart chakra. Hinduism facilitates your soul development on the fourth ray of God's purity through the base of the spine chakra. Confucianism facilitates your soul development on the 5th ray of science, healing, and truth through the third eye chakra. Islam facilitates your soul development on the 6th ray of administration and service through the solar plexus chakra. Taoism facilitates your soul development on the 7th ray of God's freedom through the seat of the soul chakra. And number 8, Zoroastrianism facilitates your soul development on the 8th ray through the secret chamber of the heart. Those are the 8. Those are the 8 that are delineated. Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity in the heart, Hinduism, also, right, base of the spine chakra. I also refer to that as the resurrection chakra. And it truly is that, but it's also the purity chakra. That's what Summit says more frequently. Confucianism, third eye. Islam on the solar plexus. Taoism, seat of the soul, which is one chakra beneath the solar plexus and above the base of the spine. And it's good to remember that's the 7th. And seat of the soul, don't get it confused with base of the spine because it's one up from the base of the spine. Seat of the soul chakra. Those are the 8. Principally, I wanted to get on to record this to be able to repost and I might be repeating information I've already shared. In fact, I know that I am, but wanted to present it in a more compact format. If you have questions, please message me if you have any ideas on how to expand this work, topical questions you'd like to see addressed, or anything to do with, your opinion about my effort. And if you have leads and so forth, I'd be very interested in working with all of you. Okay, namaste, and I'm going to review this and post it, and we can continue this conversation. Thank you very much, and always victory. Have a great day. Thanks, guys. Bye.